Okay, let's talk about what kind of a wave is sound and how do humans actually hear sound. All right. All sounds are produced by the vibration of objects. If you've ever taken a tuning fork and struck it and stuck it in water, you'll see that it is shaking, it is vibrating, it is pushing that water out of the way. Sound waves are those longitudinal or compression waves that we were speaking about earlier. Click right here if you want some refresher on that. Remember, whatever is vibrating is going to equal the vibration that you actually hear. So how fast it's vibrating is how fast you're actually going to hear it. The frequency of a sound is called pitch, and it has everything to do with how fast it vibrates. The faster it vibrates, the higher the pitch. The slower it vibrates, the lower the pitch. So it has everything to do, what you hear has a lot to do with how fast it's actually moving. We humans can hear anywhere from 20 hertz to about 20,000 hertz, also known as 20 kilohertz. So 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Anything below 20 hertz is called infrasonic. Now there are sounds out there that are below the range of human hearing. They're called infrasonic sounds. Some animals, elephants for example, do actually communicate with infrasonic. Anything above 20,000 hertz, which given even teenagers can't hear in the 20,000 hertz range, but anything above that we would call ultrasonic. So dogs can hear anywhere from 40 hertz to 60,000 hertz, so 3 times higher than us, and bats can hear up to 6 times higher than us, 120,000 hertz. Very, very, very high-pitched sounds. That's actually what they use for echolocation for their sonar. This is a dog, it's a hipster dog. My favorite frequency is 50,000 hertz. You've probably never heard it before because they have, never mind, I love that joke. All right, here you can kind of see a really cool depiction of where they can hear, where they can vocalize. Humans, we can vocalize anywhere between 85 to 1100 and we can hear 20 to 20,000. You can spend a minute, pause this and look at the rest, it's pretty cool. All right, now the medium does not travel across the room. Remember, medium is the material that the wave travels through. So the energy transfers, but the material does not. Like if I walk in a room and say, hi, I ate garlic. Like you would hear those words, but you would not actually smell the garlic the moment that you would hear them. Thankfully, that would be disgusting. Imagine being in a room where someone farted. You would smell it and hear it at the same time. That sounds like a horrible thing. Thankfully, it's only the energy that travels, not the smell right away. That takes time. Anyways, as that source vibrates, as the material vibrates, a series of compressions and rarefaction, remember that's where the air is being stretched together or pulled apart, is produced. So let's say we have a rubber band vibrating. Well, as it vibrates, the air molecules next to it are going to vibrate, and the air molecules next to that are going to vibrate, and then the next ones are going to vibrate, and so on and so forth, all the way until it reaches your eardrum, and then it's going to set forth, a chain of events that results in you hearing it inside your brain. Sound and air does have, essentially the compressions you can see right here, and then the rarefactions. Higher amplitude, lower amplitude right here. And the wavelength is the distance between those two high pressure waves. All right, things that can transmit sound. The speed of sound is not actually constant. It can change in different materials. In gases, like I'm presuming you're hearing me right now, air actually travels the slowest. 4 times faster when you get into something like water versus air, and then 15 times faster through solids. Something like steel is going to transmit sound way faster than the gas. So if you're standing next to a train track and you were like listening to it or like put your ear on the train track, don't try this at home, you would hear the train coming way before you'd hear it in the air. You'd hear it through the steel. This is why if you watch old-time movies or old-time westerns, they'll show someone like listening for horses. They put their ear to the ground. They are listening for those hoofbeats of horses from far away because it's going to travel faster through a solid like the dirt as opposed to gases like the air. And in something like a vacuum, something where there is no air, no sound at all. And if you've ever seen the old 70s film Alien, the tagline is, "In space, no one can hear you scream." That's because sound can't travel where there's no medium, where there's nothing to compress. So the transmission of sound, like all mechanical waves, requires a medium, something to travel through. So imagine we have the space shuttle here, and then there's a guy floating around out there. Let's say a meteor strikes this. Nothing is going to be heard by that guy here unless it's like on a radio contact. This guy inside, he will hear it come in. He will hear it smash because there is sound there and there's material there. This guy will hear it collide and he'll probably die. But he'll be able to hear himself, so there's that. Whereas this guy right here, unless they're connected by radio, there's no physical matter here. There's no physical medium. He would watch this go in and destroy the ship and blow up and watch his friend die in perfect silence because there's nothing to carry the sound unless they're connected via radio. But that's not a type of sound wave. That's an electromagnetic wave. Here you can see someone who's got too much money, really big speakers in their car, and you can see the pressure waves that it's putting out. Remember, it's just compressing the air, and you can see it's causing the window to crack. That seems like overly excessively loud. Don't try that at home. Here you can see a speaker, and you can see where they put paint on it, and you can see how the speaker is physically compressing, physically moving things up and down, which when you put paint on there makes awesome, but that's how it's actually compressing the air so you can hear it. Okay, loudness. It's a sensation in the brain, and it's different for different people. The unit of intensity for sound is the decibel. All right, very, very quiet things like right now, what I'm talking about is probably going to be anywhere from 30 to 40 decibels, depending upon your computer volume. If I did a little bit louder, I'm getting into the 50 to 60 range. If I wish, I'm not actually going to shout. That wouldn't be cool if you're wearing headphones. That'd be in the 80 range here. Vacuum cleaners to be in there. Heavy trucks to be 100. Gunshots are going to be in this range right here. If you've ever been around something like that, it's really, really loud. We're getting in the painful range, but it's registered and measured by decibels. How loud is too loud? There's raindrops, normal city, here's an MP3 player at peak volume, jackhammers, gunshot, fireworks, anywhere from here on up, 85 decibels and up can cause permanent hearing loss or hearing damage. So, keep the music at a lower volume. Don't blast, science videos at 110 decibels for multiple reasons.